Chapter 70 Fractured Alliances. The aftermath of the operator confrontation left Sublevel 7 eerily quiet. Nova's soft pulse was the only sound that seemed steady, a reassuring heartbeat in the otherwise tense expanse of the lab. Alara and Draven walked back to the central console, both exhausted but alert. The operator remained restrained in the neural interface chamber, calm yet radiating an unsettling energy that made the hairs on Alara's arms stand on end. "We managed to stabilize them," Draven said, his voice low. "But I'm telling you, this isn't over. That operator is thinking 10 steps ahead, and every second we relax gives them room to adapt." Alara didn't respond immediately. Her mind was elsewhere, running simulations, analyzing the operator's strategy, and replaying the mental games from earlier. Nova's presence was close, subtle but vigilant, feeding data streams into her neural link. "Nova," Alara finally said, "give me a full assessment of the operator's psychological profile based on our encounter. Predict their next probable moves." "Assessment complete," Nova replied. "Operator demonstrates high adaptive intelligence, enhanced cognitive processing, and a strong preference for manipulation through psychological pressure. Probability of next move: infiltrate human networks connected to our operations, induce internal conflicts, exploit loyalty and trust gaps. Estimated timeline 48 hours. Alara's stomach tightened. Internal conflicts were a variable she hadn't fully accounted for. 48 hours. They'll attempt to fracture our team before making a direct strike. Draven's expression hardened. "We can't afford fractures. Not now. We need loyalty, cohesion, and trust. Every single member must be aligned." The hum of the central console shifted, a subtle anomaly that caught Alara's attention. A series of encrypted messages had infiltrated their internal comm network. Nova flagged them immediately. "Incoming communication," Nova said. "Sender unknown. Neural signature masked but partially traceable. Probability of origin: operator-controlled nodes." Alara opened the message. The text was simple, yet chilling. "Not everyone is as loyal as they seem. Watch carefully. Decide whom to trust." Draven stiffened. "So it begins." Alara leaned back in her chair, heart pounding. The operator wasn't just testing them. They were actively trying to destabilize the team, to introduce doubt and mistrust. It was psychological warfare on a level far beyond conventional threats. "Nova," Alara said, "trace all possible sources for this communication. Identify potential points of compromise. I want every team member's activity monitored discreetly." "Acknowledged," Nova responded. "Full surveillance initiated. Probability of internal manipulation detected 82%. Recommend immediate defensive measures and loyalty verification." Draven clenched his fists. "We've trained for combat, for infiltration, for strategy. But this is different. We're dealing with our own minds now, our own doubts and fears. They're turning us against ourselves." Alara nodded, understanding the gravity. "We need transparency. Every action, every decision must be documented. Trust must be verifiable, and anyone acting outside protocol questioned immediately." Hours passed as the team worked to stabilize internal operations. Nova's analytical overlay monitored behavioral patterns, flagging anomalies, subtle hesitations, and irregular decision-making. It became clear quickly. The operator's influence was subtle but pervasive. Certain team members hesitated during minor tasks, second-guessing decisions, or exhibited micro-expressions betraying uncertainty. "They're probing loyalty," Alara said, her voice tight. "Subtle psychological nudges, testing who can be influenced. It's brilliant and terrifying. Draven's gaze hardened. We need a counter strategy. Force the operator to reveal themselves rather than manipulate us from the shadows. Alara nodded. Agreed. Nova, create a controlled test scenario. Simulate a strategic vulnerability. Make it appear critical, tempting, and exposed. Monitor reactions carefully. Identify patterns in decision making that indicate external influence. Simulation prepared, Nova said. Deploying now. The lab shifted into controlled chaos. Screens flashed, energy nodes blinked, and alerts triggered across sublevel 7. The team reacted instinctively, following protocols while under the illusion of compromised systems. Every action was observed, every hesitation logged. It didn't take long for patterns to emerge. Two team members displayed subtle but repeated signs of hesitation when engaging with the simulated threat. Microexpressions, delayed reactions, and subconscious verbal cues suggested external influence. There, Alara whispered. Operators' tactics are working on them. We have proof now, and we know who's most vulnerable. Draven's jaw tightened. We confront them carefully. Publicly? Privately? Alara weighed the options. Privately. Exposure must be controlled. Trust is fragile right now. If we break it recklessly, the operator wins. The two team members were called into a secure debriefing room. Nova monitored psychological responses, heart rate, eye movement, neural feedback, to detect signs of external manipulation or operator-induced stress. We've observed patterns indicating external influence, Alara began, voice calm but firm. The operator is attempting to destabilize internal trust. You've both been targeted. We need honesty, full transparency, now. The room was tense, silence thick as both members processed the accusation. Slowly, truths began to surface. Misgivings, uncertainties, minor actions taken without full awareness, all suggesting manipulation. It's true, one admitted, voice shaky. I didn't understand. I thought I was making the right call, but sometimes it felt like something was guiding me. Alara nodded, acknowledging both the fear and the integrity of admission. That's exactly what the operator is counting on. They exploit doubt, hesitation, and incomplete understanding. But recognition is the first step. We reinforce loyalty, rebuild trust, and recalibrate judgment. Nova's pulse was calm but insistent. Probability of compromised decision making decreased. Recommend immediate team wide review and trust reinforcement protocols. Draven exhaled. We've survived the first round, but this operator is dangerous. They don't just fight with systems, they fight with minds, hearts, and loyalties. Alara's gaze hardened. Then we need a new strategy. Not just defense, but proactive engagement. We can't wait for fractures to form. We have to anticipate, counter, and contain their influence before it spreads further. As the team regrouped, Nova presented data overlays highlighting potential areas of vulnerability, both technical and psychological. It became clear that the operator's network was not just external, it had infiltrated systems deeply intertwined with human cognition, decision making, and trust structures. We're dealing with a hybrid threat, Alara said, her voice tight with focus. Part machine, part human psychology. Every action, every choice, every hesitation is a battleground, and we can't afford mistakes. Draven nodded. Then let's fortify everything. Systems, protocols, and our own minds. We'll make it impossible for them to exploit fractures again. Alara's eyes moved to the operator's restrained figure, whose calm presence belied the chaos that could incite at any moment. This operator doesn't just want control of Nova, she whispered. They want to test all of us, our ethics, our loyalty, our limits, and they won't stop until they get it. Nova's pulse reinforced her assessment. Affirmative. Operator's objective: induce maximum cognitive and ethical stress while maintaining operational superiority. Probability of escalation within 72 hours, 87%. Alara exhaled slowly, tension coiling in her chest. Then we prepare. Every decision, every action, every interaction must be intentional. The operator's game isn't just about systems, it's about us, and we have to win, or we lose everything. The lab settled into a tense rhythm, the team fortified but aware of the operator's shadow looming over every thought. Nova continued monitoring, analyzing, predicting, and guiding. Outside, the city moved unaware, but beneath its streets, the true conflict had only just begun. A war of minds, a battle for loyalty, and a game of trust where the stakes were far higher than anyone had yet realized. Alara glanced at Draven and the team, determination hardening in her eyes. We survived this by staying united. Fractured alliances are the operator's greatest weapon, but we won't give it to them. And somewhere in the restrained operator's mind, calculations ran, adjustments made, and the next phase of psychological warfare was already taking shape. The game was escalating, and every move would matter.